want to make your patient comfortable, and this is the one that he was doing the strokes where you're basically sinking your fingers into the fascia or deeper into the tissues of the scalp, and you're shearing them. So it's not scrubbing, it's moving. Good headache treatment. And while he was talking, he was just doing it all over. Did it one hand as he would cradle the head, turn a little bit, go right down into the soft tissue part of the neck. Feels terrible. Okay, so I want you to take a few minutes to try that with each other. Somebody toss me a towel. So a stretch like that. Another great stretch for the shoulder is as we tend to, thank you very much. Is there a bigger towel? The bigger one. The shoulders come up with tension, so one way to help relax is hands on both shoulders. So I just want you to relax for me. Relax. Relax. And you're trying to, thank you. And you're trying to depress a little further each time. 3 to 6 times each side. Feels good. So that's a good technique, a stretching technique. I did want to show you this with a towel. Sometimes I use it, and you have to lift your head there. And so you come up across the forehead. I have a handhold.
That's how he wakes up every morning, right? He's used to this.
See, even the little bit of the pressure, even if the towel feels good. You can do traction.
It looks good too. Does it look good?
You can do traction. So the other thing I wanted to say about long hair is, did you notice one of the women was one of the Lomi ladies? And she had oil going into the patient's hair. Yeah. Did you see that? And you got to go shower afterwards. You can't, oil drips down your clothes. So one thing that you can do, and I don't know exactly how it's done because I don't have hair to protect it. There's a way they hook their hair and they flip up the towel over in this way and that way, so it protects the patient's hair. And that's just a good thing to do. So again, what I want you to try is do the neck stretch, do the shoulder depression, deliberate, slow, and then if you want to try the towel technique, feel free. So go ahead and add those to the. Let's see what you got. It's not the best handhold this way, in this position. The best way is on the side, but you can kind of feel how it goes. You want to feel the tension in the erector spinae as well as over in the rhomboids of the traps. You can sink lightly and then just get deeper and deeper. Remember laying in the hands on the fascia like that. I know I'm going to have to catch the upper traps, and a good technique again that is the catwalk on this. We've done that before like that. So, and then he was doing arm there. So it's sinking down, and his skin is a little dusty, so.
I wasn't going like that.
That was very similar.
I just called them old furniture, but.
Okay, so you get a little on, you can do some effleurage, start working in there. You can start doing some of your deeper kneading strokes. You want to start lifting and getting the muscle. Remember, I think it was a woman that showed except she was facing the shoulder, wasn't she? You can do something from both directions, around the shoulder, trap work. That's usually feels terrible.
In the trap.
Now remember, there was that one technique of rimming the bone. So that's where the fibers adhere even more, can be very tight, versus over in the belly of the muscle. So you want to make sure you work around the margins of the bone.
How's his back?
In terms of,
Tight.
that is not bad. A little bit of tightness. You want to be careful about sinking into the axilla because it's ticklish, but if you can go over there gently and catch the margin, work down to the inferior angle. You can add some of the traction strokes. I almost have a little too much. So you can go from dusty to too much grease in it. If you're working the shoulder and the upper trap, also make sure you take a look at the neck. And the guy that did the strokes dry through the shirt, those are good neck strokes. So it works like this, grabbing and separating. He's got some trigger points in the trap there. We almost always do. Remember the trigger point over here that gets in the way? That a little sore? And one of the things that I do try to work is if you feel alongside the spine, not right on the spine, but alongside, I want to feel the bump up for the rib and the gully for the intercostal. And when you find the intercostal, you find a little tightness there. Yeah. And you work those intercostals. Good technique to do. And then the catwalk, again, he's a little slippery again, and I would probably put a towel on. We worked this way, and you can work from the tip of the shoulder, pulling towards, catch the deltoid. Got some stool on my shoes. Then you can work the deltoid, all three parts, front, middle, and posterior deltoids. He's got some upper trap issues there. If you want to add your forearm in, try it. So let's go ahead. We need skin to skin. So ladies, if you need to put on, do the quadratus lumborum. So if you remember the psoas, if you find the, what's this bump there? ASIS. And really, one of the ways to find it is ASIS to umbilicus, about halfway between. Remember the guy on the video said over and up a little. Well, that puts you about in the same spot. So, so let me just have you put that arm there. So there's one way to do it, several ways. And it does come down a lot to the pain that your patient is experiencing in their back. What the guy did there is he lifted, and so I'm going to have you hold your leg up there, and his psoas, relax, pops right up into my fingers. Now the technique he used is you don't sink in all the way to his spine, but maybe halfway there. And then we're going to just have you let your leg down slowly, hold it up there, slowly let it down, slowly let it down, slowly let it down. That's one way. The other way to find it is I can have you lift your leg up for me a little bit, and as he bends his hip up, I can feel the psoas pop up into my fingers. So whichever one is, both are useful because your patient may be able to tolerate one but not the other. Once you find it, you're only going to use 2 to 3 fingers, and you're above the line of the ASISs across. Once you find it, you can strum it a little. It doesn't have to be under tension. If it's painful, it's going to be under tension anyway, spasming. And you just strum it a little bit, very lightly, very slow. So again, you can lift the patient's leg. You say, hold your own leg there, and as he bears the weight of his leg, the psoas will pop up. Because what's the function of a psoas?
Hip flexion.
Right, it's hip flexor, so when he resists flexion, it's going to pop up like that. And then you can have him slowly take his own leg, you ease off, kind of guide it down, and you maintain the pressure while he's guiding it down. So it's mobilization under movement. The other way is you can have him just flex a little bit, and you can feel it pop up, and then have your patient relax and strum it a little bit. So make sure you're above the line of the ASIS. Best way, again, I found is ASIS to umbilicus, right about halfway. So let's go ahead. Let's count off by 9s. That red mark. So if you go right over, you notice you're kind of on the bottom of it. So you can go up a little bit. So you find here, and I'm going to slip off and really relax for me. Relax. Keep to the inside of the pelvis. Don't go out here fishing around. Stay to the inside, and you won't be able to get a lot. And relax for me, relax. It's right there. It's usually quite tender. Yeah. And so you can do the leg technique of this, and that's what I'm going to encourage you to do in a few minutes. I think in the video it commented some people have less